In, out. That's it. We cry and then we press on. We cry while we press on. Probably that one.
Don't you think we're better together? Oh, I think we are.
Good morning, guys. Recognize these Jiminy Crickets? That's right. We're at CF Clinic, and it was a little bit of a rough journey getting in here. We put up the car to valet, and then walked into the doors, and Mary had a hard coughing fit and ended up just kind of hugging around Ollie while she recovered, and then we made it up here, but she's not feeling good. But I assume we're doing PFTs and talking with her doctor and all the things, so we'll keep you updated.
When you're ready, huge breath. In, out. That's it. Good. There you go. You got this. Almost there. Excellent job. Just a little further, Mary. Keep it going. You got it. Excellent. You're doing great. Almost there. A little further. Good. Excellent. I kind of knew that was gonna happen. So
I didn't know that was gonna happen.
the crying.
Oh, well,
We're not talking about the test yet.
yeah.
So like the person who came in to take my blood pressure was like, "How you doing?" And I
No,
was
she goes, "How you doing? You doing good?"
I was like,
You didn't even answer.
Sometimes when I'm not feeling well, I don't have as much energy to like make chit chat. But anyway, my PFT tech, is that the word? My girl who does PFTs, she's been doing sometimes you get the same person for a few weeks in a row, and then
I think it's just random, but sometimes it happens.
She had me last week, and since my numbers were down last week, like she and I had a really good talk about it, how it's just a number, we keep living, blah blah blah. Anyway, she's awesome, and I've told her before, like, your coaching is top notch. She was like, I'm a swim coach as well, so I kind of mold the two together. I was like, yes, so yes. Anyway, she came in and she was like, how you doing? And then I was like, And then she was like, I can see it on your face. And I was like, yeah. So I was just standing there and I just started crying. And then she was like, birthday? Like, to get in the computer. I was like, I don't feel like I can talk right now. But I squeaked out 8/19/89, thankfully. But Peter stood next to me while I cried. I don't know what it was. I was just like,
It's kind
I
of
don't feel good.
Overwhelming morning, and
yeah.
Mary's numbers are down.
So then I did the test once I recovered. But my numbers are down more, and that's, I mean, I guess I kind of expected it because of how I feel.
Yeah.
But on the other hand,
I kind of just expected last week's low numbers to be as low as they'd go, and then I don't know. But we
press on.
Yeah, we'll talk with our doctor, and
We cry and then we press on.
yeah.
We cry while we press on. Probably that one. But yeah, we'll talk to my doctor and he'll tell us all about the CAT scan from Tuesday, so 6 days ago. And
Yeah.
okay. Long meeting.
Yes.
Long meeting. A good meeting. I mean, it's reality.
Yep. And we talked through a lot, but we'll update you in a bit. But for now, we're headed over to...
I didn't tell them.
Oh, we're headed to surgery people. We might change
They're
out...
gonna remove my ears.
change out. I think we gotta go up a floor, right?
Yeah.
change out Mary's feeding tube possibly. Okay, so we're in a clinic room at the surgery. It's like the general surgery clinic. It's basically we're seeing the nurse practitioner of the surgeon who put in Mary's feeding tube. She's been having a lot of pain recently, and
it's the same thing, pretty much the same.
Like, it's sore where the balloon is up against her wall, like abdominal wall. So it's already, I don't know, we're gonna look at it and maybe put in a longer tube and see if that helps let it heal, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like
maybe it's just like temporary that it's longer, because I feel like the one that's in there now is already long enough.
Yeah.
But
it's the same pain like back in February when they did an ultrasound. The surgeon looked at the ultrasound and said that where the balloon inside is, like, was causing, like, rubbing against the abdominal wall, and it's called buried bumper syndrome, because it's like the bumper is burying in your abdominal wall. But it wasn't like terrible, but it was enough there that it hurt.
And the longer tube helped.
Yeah, the longer tube helped so that the balloon wasn't constantly rubbing, so it's like longer, so it's like that. But now, whenever certain ways that my balloon sits, it hurts again. So anyway, I just kind of emailed them and talked to them earlier today and just said, hey, I'm going to be at the hospital. Do you happen to have any time to see me? And they're like, sure, come on in and we'll see. Maybe we'll switch out your balloon or your button, whatever. So basically a recap of CF clinic. My PFTs are down, and on one hand it's not surprising because of how I've been feeling, but on the other hand it is surprising.
Yeah, like last week, I mean, when we shared that we came in last Tuesday and her PFTs were down, and we were surprised by that because we thought that she was getting better.
Yeah, because like for a week I felt a little better.
Yeah, like basically that was pretty much a week, 9 days since being discharged from the hospital, and in that week, like, we initially didn't see improvement, but then in the days,
once the side effects wore off.
Yeah. So anyways, it's an up and down journey. We have to acknowledge that like there's gonna be better days and worse days, and so it's hard in the midst of all those days to like really zoom out. But her lung function is down. We talked about a lot of things with her doctor, but one of the things we talked about was we're going to try steroids, a low dose.
Yeah, because the high dose, or like the normal dose, or a high dose of steroids, which they would normally do for a CF patient, causes my body to like get worse. And
just like symptomatically, side effect wise, right?
Yeah, like gaining so much water weight. Like steroids can do that. Like you gain, like your face can fill up with fluid, and that's normal. But then like my whole body like gained a ton of water weight, which I'm assuming that's why it made my lung function go down, because my body was full of liquid. But anyway, so we're not going on the high dose right now. We're gonna try a low dose and see if that like gives my body just enough boost. The other issue with steroids is that at a certain milligram point, the steroids can actually cause your body to be under
immune compromise. Like
it can further compromise your immune system.
Yeah.
And so my doctor was like, with you already having immune CVID, whatever that stands for, the common immune variable deficiency or whatever it is, that is the reason I'm on IVIG. It could be, like pros versus cons. Like,
yeah,
it could be like the steroids help one thing, but they cause my immune system to go crazy or whatever. Like,
yeah. Don't want to make infection worse in her body or anything like that.
But I'm still on IVIG, so a low dose of the steroids should be okay. immune system wise, but we just need to keep track of the symptoms. So my hope is that with the low dose, I will see a little improvement without the extreme side effects.
We looked at the CT scan that she got last week, and one of the things that we talked about was like air trapping in her lungs. So hopefully maybe the steroids can help open up the airways a little bit and let Mary breathe a little easier.
So that's what, you know, he could see on the CAT scan. And that pain I've been having is
like a nodule.
Like a nodule on, like you could see it on the CAT scan from 2 years ago, and then it was unchanged. Like, so it's not like it's like way worse, but it's just one of those things.
Or anything new,
right?
Per se.
Yeah.
But that it's some.
It's just the cause for the pain is this nodule on my lung, and I think it's the pleurisy
I don't know what you're saying.
rubbing against the nodule.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what it is. But
something in there is causing pain, and but with her going on the steroids and with where her lung function's at, we also decided to start
oral antibiotic.
Yeah, we're gonna start 2.
What?
Right? Yeah.
What?
Doxy and Cipro, right?
No, he changed it from Cipro to Doxy. Okay, pause for a second. This is current day Mary. Peter's editing this vlog, and I have to say he was 100% correct. My doctor does want me on both of the antibiotics. So, Peter, you are correct. Thank you for being there and keeping the details straight. Yeah, so it's worth a try.
We'll see what happens. I mean, we basically were at the point where I think normally if we came in and her lung function's where it's at and she's feeling how she's feeling, we would like do IVs, but we just did that. And
there's literally not an option. Like,
yeah, and we started talking through like when the time comes that we have to do IVs again, do antibiotics, like what are we gonna do, and like what drugs, and what's our plan, because we're just facing a lot of limitations with Mary's bone marrow and side effects and all the details.
So in regards to my bone marrow, I've seen the hematology team when I'm inpatient, when I'm on IVs, but my team has a lot of further questions for them, and so I'm gonna go outpatient and see the hematology team and ask all the questions, and just like, it's just really, it's weird. It's weird that my bone marrow can't handle, I mean, there's, on all these IV medications, they say in the warnings, like, can cause bone marrow suppression. And so it's a known side effect, but I think typically for most CF bodies, you'll see, if you see bone marrow suppression, it'll happen those first couple days, and then it'll recover.
Yeah.
But mine can't recover.
Or you switch to other drugs that might not cause it as bad. But what we're facing with Mary is we've got a limited number of drugs we can use, and so like the bone marrow issue is kind of a big issue every time we go on IVs.
And it's like, I literally have been having dreams almost every night that I have to go in the hospital, and it's like reality that when I do have to go on IVs, I basically do have to be in the hospital because of all of these complications, and that to me is so like frustrating, because we are capable of doing all of this at home. It's just the blood work, the bone marrow issues, all the issues.
All the moving parts.
All the issues. So.
Girl, you got issues.
I got issues, and one of them is how bad I need you.
Anyways, so that's a little bit of an update on what the plan is, but we're going to take it one day at a time and start with, on our way home, we'll pick up those steroids and the antibiotic, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna do a separate video about whatever happens with this feeding tube. So check in
Maybe
to
we'll
a different
post
video.
that today. I don't know when that'll
we'll
be
see.
posted. But
As always,
we
we'll
will see you tomorrow.
Good night. And those of you who got
Ollie got up. Say goodnight.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.